See it? No, we can't see it.
I see it.
Okay. So, ask my instructor, section 2AT, and I really don't know what AT stands for. So we'll just go with skills review, question number 17. So let's see if this, first of all, is it a test question? Yes, it could be a test question. And it's also a standardized test question. So if y'all could, go ahead and mute your microphone so we don't have the interjection of sounds, even though it's small sounds. And just hold your questions. Now, I have the chat opened on another window, so I think I'll be able to see the chat as well as who's in here and who's not. 21 are in here now. Okay, so this is a standardized test question, and when you do this question, the first thing I want you to do is solve it, of course. I want you to solve it and make sure you try to keep the variable positive. Always try to keep the variable positive. Then I want you to graph it. And then I want you to give me interval notation and set builder notation. Now, anytime you're doing an inequality in my class, as far as homework, or as far as non-test questions, I want you to do all three of those. Because that way, you're getting all that you need to get when you're talking about inequalities. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and solve it. Whenever you're given a fraction, always clear the fraction first. So I'm going to multiply through by 2 because I want to clear the fraction. And that's going to give me a 2 here, a 2 here, and a 2 here. And I'm going to multiply by x over 2 minus 1 greater than 5x. So I just put a baby step in there. And there's your 2's. Your 2's are going to cancel. That's why you multiplied by 2 in the first place. So our final equation is x minus 2 greater than 10x. I'm going to bring my x across the river. I'm sorry. Minus x. So negative 2 is greater than 9x. Divide by 9, divide by 9, and x is less than 2 9ths, negative 2 9ths. Now let's graph it. That's positive infinity. That's negative infinity. There's 0, and negative 2 9ths is right here. What kind of circle do we put on 2 9ths? Now we're going into graphing. What kind of circle do we put on negative 2 9ths?
Open circle.
An open circle. Now I showed y'all that last week. I showed you that when you're dealing with inequalities, you got to have an open circle or a closed circle. Now what numbers are less than negative 2 9ths?
Negative 3 9ths.
Everything to the left, Hubert. Yep. So, which way do we read? Left to right. So interval notation dictates that we see the negative infinity first. And we go to negative 2 9ths. Set builder notation says x such that x is less than negative 2 9ths. And that is a completely done inequality. That is a good test question, and it's also a good standardized test question. Now, a lot of people freak out right here when I put the X's on the right. Remember I told you, you have to make sure that your son sits on the left side of the seesaw, no matter where you go. Whether you go to New York Park or whether you go to Anderson, South Carolina Park, your son has to sit on the left side and the girl has to sit on the right side. And if you have two sons, they both have to sit on the left side. How much sense does that make? Anybody? Does it make sense that the son or the male son has to sit on the left side of the seesaw? Does that make any sense whatsoever? Okay, nobody's going to talk to me. Appreciate it.
I said no.
Okay, I didn't hear you. So why does it make sense that the X or the variable always has to go on the left-hand side? That makes no sense whatsoever. But y'all have been conditioned. What?
I don't know. I just thought you just keep it consistent, so it's, you don't get confused.
Well, that's why you keep it positive, so you don't get confused. I'll be honest with you. Say the glass half empty or half full. Would you rather deal with positives all the time, or would you rather deal with it on the left-hand side? I'd rather deal with positives. So that's why I keep everything positive. All right. And there's less careless mistakes. When you keep the variable positive, there's less careless mistakes on a test. I have found that out to be true. So let's see if I'm right. See if I did the math right. X is less than 2/9, negative 2/9, 2 and 9. And we feel good about ourselves. So that's a good question. Now let's look at other questions, and I'm going to delete that one. And let's go in order. 2.1, 19/6. 2.1, 19/6. Find A, the solution to the question, f of x is equal to 0. In other words, plug in 0 for x. And you're going to find the x-intercepts. And I don't know what they're talking about, the 0 of f of x. I don't understand what that is, but f of x is equal to 0. So let's go ahead and set the equation equal to 0. So that's going to be, here you want to solve it. And then 2, you want to graph it on a number line. I think that's what they're wanting here. Of course, I never call it that. I just call it graphing it, but I think that's what they're wanting. So here we go. 0 is equal to 1.9x plus 38. And I'm going to bring the 38 over, and that's going to be negative 38 is equal to 1.9x. Divide by 1.9. Divide by 1.9. Somebody do that for me because I don't have the calculator pulled up. Well, it's 38 negative. It's going to be negative, so I don't have to worry about the negative. What's 38 divided by 1.9?
20.
20 even?
Yes.
Okay, so our x-intercept is 20. So draw it on the number line. 0, 20, negative 20. Here's my number. So what happens when you plug in 21? What happens when you plug in 21? Well, you get, well, that would be an inequality. So I don't know really what they're wanting. I don't know what they're wanting. Negative 20 is your answer. But I don't know, with the inequality, you find the positives and the negatives on the number lines. I don't know what they're wanting. Let's see what they're wanting. First of all, negative 20 or negative 20 should be your answer. What is the X-intercept? The X-intercept is negative 20. I don't understand what they're asking. What is 0 of f of x? Now, if you plug in 0, you get the y-intercept. Why don't they just ask for the y-intercept, which would be 38? Okay.
It's negative 20.
What the hell are they asking negative 24 again? I don't understand. Okay. That is a stupid question. All right. The first, this right here is a good test question right there. Okay. And I'll even say that this is a good test question. But why do they call it the 0 of f of x? I don't.
Saying when x or when y is 0, what is x? So it's just.
Well, that's the y. That's called the X-intercept. That's what you learned back in Algebra 1. When you plug in 0 for y, you get the X-intercept. I guess I'm just overlooking it. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Here, okay, when you get to this question on the homework, it's three different ways to call the X-intercept the X-intercept. You can call it f of x is equal to 0, or you can say, what is the 0 of f of x? I have never heard of this in my entire life. So I have no idea what that is. Okay, so I'll go with the first two, A and B. I've never seen that before. All right, everybody good? Just solve the equation. I can see why you were confused, whoever sent that question. I would be confused on that part right there, and I'm a teacher. So not all the time are these questions, what am I trying to say, pragmatic. I had to look that up before I used it. I'm just kidding. Next, I'm going to delete that one. Ms. Babinow, did that help? She went back to sleep. All right, so 2.1, 45/14. Okay, this is a test question. It's also a standardized test question. Y'all sending some good questions, except for that last one. That one, ugh. Solve the equation for n. Well, I ain't going to solve for anything. What's the first thing I'm going to do with this equation?
Priority 1 message coming in on secured chat.
First thing I'm going to do is clear the fraction, Hubert. That's right, class. Thought I told y'all that last week. Plus A. Now you could combine, no, you can't combine because they're not the same. I thought that was 4m minus 3m. 4m minus 3n. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clear the fraction because I don't want to deal with fractions. Now, if you like whips and chains, you go ahead and deal with fractions, but I'm not. So I'm going to put a 3 here, a 3 here, a 3 here, a 3 here. And I'm going to write, I'm putting in a baby step for you because I'm trying to help y'all out. You're welcome. I know y'all appreciate it. And there you go. Now all you got to do is the math or the algebra. So let's take our handy dandy blue marker and take out that 3, which is what we wanted to do to begin with. P plus 3A is equal to 12m minus 9n. Now I go back to the original directions, and we want to solve for n. So I got to get rid of negative 12. So P plus 3A minus 12m is equal to negative 9n. Divide by negative 9. Divide by negative 9. So n is equal to, you could reduce, but I'm not, P plus 3A minus 12m over negative 9. You could say negative p over 9 minus a over 9 plus 4 or 4m over 3. You could do that, but I'm not going to because that's not in the most simplified form. I'm not going to type all that in. I'm just going to type in 3 and hit it 3 times and see if they get the same answer I got. 4m over 3. Okay, they did it. They went ahead and simplified. P over 9. 3a over 9 is a over 3. And 4m over 3. And negative, that make that a positive, make that a negative, make that a negative. I really don't care. If you did this on a test and you gave me this answer and they marked it wrong, I would probably take it because this is not more simplified. To me, this is more simplified. Does everybody see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, when I was trying to, actually, I'm the one that asked it. When I was like putting it through, it was, it made me put it like 4m first. So does it matter? Yeah. Like how do I know to put P before A?
Well, you don't. This is a stupid way to write it. You usually put your variables in ascending order, meaning your lower ones first. Like I said, if this was on a test, then I would give you the answer. I would give you this one or this one. I really don't know how. I've never seen it written like this because I've always written, I would write it 3a over negative 9 plus minus 12m over negative 9 plus p. Or minus whatever. I would write it like that. If I had to write it a certain way, I wouldn't write it like this. So you don't feel bad because if you've noticed, they write these things real weird, and I think that's culturally because I've had students tell me before that doesn't live in America or doesn't live in America. Or that not originally from America, like they're from somewhere else, they will say that it's okay where we lived to write negative exponents. And here we try not to write negative exponents. Well, in some cases, in some cultures, when you are talking about algebra, it really doesn't matter how you write the A's and the B's and the C's. And here is an example. So the person that programmed this answer in, I would say probably does not recognize the A being first and the M being second and the P being last. So if this was a test, I would count this correct. If it's a homework problem, I suggest you just do it again and make a note that they're doing it in no fashion, just follow the fashion that they did it in this problem. So MPA. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So just do the best you can on it. What they should do is have 3 or 4 different answers programmed in, but this may be a new question. It may be a newly developed question and they haven't put all the answers in yet. I don't know. Next question is 2.157/19. I don't know, does that sound like the same one? No. The average monthly bill for wireless telephone subscribers from 1985 to 2008 can be modeled by this equation. Now see, that's the correct way to write an equation, where X is the number of years after 1980. There's that. You got to highlight that. So that means that 1980 will be 0. Okay, you need to watch for that because in that one question that I did for y'all, I assumed that that was in there, and it wasn't. So instead of using 0, they used 77. If this model remains valid, in what year will the average monthly cell bill be 2128? Well, first of all, I'm going to go to the handy dandy Excel spreadsheet. Well, let's see. No, I want to go to the calculator. We're going to put this one in because I want you to see how it looks. So, handy dandy calculator. Wait, let's pull that up and pull this up. So let's type that in. Clear. Y is equal to, and you don't have to type it in, but I'm going to, well, negative 1.804 plus X plus 95.247 and graph. And zoom fit. I'm on zoom fit, try to see if I can find it. There we go. So there's our graph. And you can hit trace because they want to find out when the average monthly wireless phone bill would be 2128. Well, 2128 is Y, right? B of X is 2128. So I'm going to put Y is equal to 21.28. Now this is one way to do it. And graph, and now find the intersection of that point. Well, now I got to do zoom again. Zoom fit, which is 9. And it should put it in there. And it does. Zoom standard, zoom 6. Okay, I got to adjust my window. Hold on. I know my Y-intercept has got to be at least 100. So I'm going to put Y max 100. And graph. There we go. Okay, well, we're going to have to move over. So window, I'm gonna zoom out 3. And you can adjust your window however you want to. I'm just playing. So move it over, move the middle over to here. Hit enter. And now you start to see where they cross. And I want to find out where they intersect. So I hit second, trace. I don't know how much y'all know and how much y'all don't know. So after I get finished, I'm going to ask you if you got any questions. And there's that, and then my guess is right about there. So 21.20, X is 41. So 41 years from 1980. Somebody add 1980 plus 41. What do you get?
2021.
There it is. Right there, 2021. Because you take that 41 and you add it to 1980. Okay, who's got questions? Don't be scared to ask. Because there's several different ways you could have done it. You could have set this equal to 2021. You could have done that, or 41. Sorry, let's see. Yeah. You could have set 2021, I'm sorry. Where's 2021, 28? 21, 28, set that equal to this and solve. You would get 41 and then add 41 to whatever, and that would give you 2021. That's probably the best 2 ways to do it. Set the whole thing equal to 21, 28 or graph it. Another way you could have done it is hit trace. But it wouldn't be very accurate. Let me delete this and hit graph. and hit trace, and you're trying to find the closest Y to 2128. .9 as close as I can get. Now you could blow that up now. You could hit zoom. Let me pull this in the center. Zoom in. And zoom in right there where they are, right where I was right there at, let's see, 23.28. I'm thinking out loud. Right in there. And now it's bigger, so when you hit trace now, you're looking for 2128. So I'm gonna go back. There's 21.16 or 21.17. So you're getting closer and closer by using trace. You can also use table, second table, and try to find where Y is equal to 2128. There it is right there. Ding! And you feel good about yourself. And I got questions. So I showed you 4 or 5 different ways on the calculator to find it. Everybody good on this one? Yeah, Hubert, I understand it better now. Thank you, class. Delete. This is 2.157/19. I think we just did that one. All right, I'm gonna let y'all do this one. Even though it's about the same, I'm gonna let y'all do this one. So go ahead, I'm gonna give you a minute to put this on the calculator and figure it out. If you can't do it, then we all know what that means. Nobody's gonna fill in the blank. We all know what that means. That's okay. Yeah, I believe my days of Saturday and Sunday are going to be to movies and golf. If I watch TV, that's what I'm going to be watching.
Golf is really good. My grandpa plays a lot of that, and he taught me how to play when I was really young.
Who taught you?
My grandpa.
Oh yeah, I love to play golf. Play at golf. I'm not going to say I play. If I shot less than 90 or 100, I would say I was playing, but I hadn't played in so long. I want to try to get my son and me try to get out there and play a little bit more.
That's awesome. Golf is it's relaxing and it keeps you focused.
Oh yeah, it does. It's a great sport. I love it. That's all right, Miss Ridings. We talked about you when you wasn't here. We said bad things about you, but we can't discuss them. All right. The average monthly bill for wireless telephone subscribers from 1995 to 2008 can be shown, blah, blah, blah. So let's graph it. Y is equal to negative 1.383 X plus 98.737. And graph. There she is. I'm going to move out a little bit, so I'm going to zoom out. I'm just going to zoom out because I want to see what it looks like with the first and second quadrant. Okay. And it says, what will be the year that the average monthly bill is $47.57? 4757. So I'm going to say y is equal to 4757, 47.57. And I'm going to make that a dashed line or different line. Hold on. Let's make that a solid line, a bold line. And there's the intersection right there. So I'm going to hit second, trace, go down to intersect. You want to intersect this line with the other line? Yes. There's the other line. And where's your guess? Well, I'll say it's right about there. And there is your answer, 37. So add 37 to 1980. What do you get?
2017.
So I'm going to type in 2017. Let's see if I feel good about myself. I feel good about myself. There you go. So I don't have to put smokestacks on my pickup truck. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. I'm talking to the females in here. You can tell a lot about a guy by looking at their vehicle. And I'm not going to go into the psychologies, but I would say run. If there's anything crazy about a guy's vehicle, run in the other direction. Because there's some psychologies, there's some issues there. You need to, I'm talking to the girls now, watch. Guys, all you got to look at is makeup. If they look like a Oompa Loompa, orange face and a white neck, run. Run as fast as you can. These are the theories of Hubertisms. I got about 25 indicators. And guys, all you got to look at is the makeup. If they've got like an inch of makeup and their face is orange and their neck is white, just run. Run the other direction. Girls, you got to look at other indicators, whether they wear sunglasses inside the building, does their truck cost more than a house, or their car costs more than a house, that kind of stuff. You got to watch for stuff like that. Okay, and I didn't get a single comment out of any female. I figured I would have at least got 3 or 4 comments. Nothing.
That's great advice.
It is. And I guarantee you one day you're going to say, right now you're 19, 20, 25, whatever. One day when you're 30, 40 years old, you're going to say, damn, if you wasn't right. You wait and see what I tell you. All right. Guys, am I not right with the makeup thing? Because those girls, they will take a bat to your headlights. Okay? Those Oompa Loompas, they will. So, all right. Next question. No comments. I figured I would have got at least 3 or 4. Next, 2.2, 13/9. Now, I can't remember if I showed y'all best fit or not, but we're going to do it on the Excel spreadsheet first. And I am not asking you to do best fit linear models by hand, because the closest you can get is picking 2 points and finding the slope and using the point slope equation. I don't think they want you to do that. I think they want you to find the best fit, but we'll find out but if they tell you to pick 2 points, then they want you to use the slope and the y-intercept. I disagree with this one if they want you to, because they're not telling you to. They're finding the best fit. So I'm going to go with the Excel spreadsheet. And there's our Excel spreadsheet. I want you to highlight. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I got to fix this. This drives me crazy. There. And let's fix this too, because I like to have that bold and underlined. There we go. All right. Highlight the 2 columns. Go to Insert and Scatter Plot. Now this looks pretty linear, so it might be a straight line. click on one of the dots, right click on one of the X's, and hit Add Trend Line. Linear, go down to the bottom, display equation. Always display R also. And I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger for y'all so y'all won't complain. Now, this is the line of best what? Fit. It's called the line of regression. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because the directions did not give you 2 points to use. Now, if they did, you would do the point slope equation in the slope. Let's say they gave you 4 and 7, and we used the last one, 14 and 43. So M is equal to, well, that's going to be y sub 1, which is, or y sub 2, minus, oops, why did it do that? Equals y sub, right there, minus, I'm going to have to put a minus here because I can't put a, and y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Now, all of you should know what I'm doing here. I'm not bringing up anything that y'all haven't seen in the last 2 or 3 years. And what's 43 minus 7? Dang old 36? Somebody help me out there.
36.
That's 36 over 10, which is 3.6. Okay, you see the difference between what this is by hand and is very analytical. It's very algebraic. This is the line of best fit, which uses technology and a whole lot of statistical math, tedious statistical math, to find this line. So you see it's a little bit off of ours, and y minus, and that's going to equal y sub 2 is equal to equal to, I got to put EQ, to M times x minus, that's going to be x, and 3.6x, and then 3.6 times 4. Somebody give me 3.6 times 4, please. Be a negative. What's 3.6 times 4?
14.4.
14.4. And then that's going to be y is equal to 3.6x. And then what is negative 14.4 plus 7 would be negative 7.4? Somebody check me.
Yes.
Now, you see that mine, doing it by point and slope, you see that mine is a little bit different from this. This is the best you can do with the slope and y-intercept. This is the line of best fit. Now, I just want to show you all the difference between the two. Now, you might could pick 2 other points, like this point, and you might be able to get closer to this, but you're still going to be off a little bit. So I don't know which one they're asking for. The way I read the directions, they're asking for this right here. Let me go ahead and show you how to do it on the calculator. Type in your numbers. Go to Stat, Edit, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 7, 16, 21, 28, 36, and 43. Now go to Stat, Calculate, Linear Regression. Now it will default to L1 and L2. Most of the time, that's the two columns I use. But if you decided to put L4 and L5, you'd hit second, and L3 and L4, L5, L6, and so on. Go ahead and hit Calculate.
I'm sorry, what did you press to get to that?
Stat and Calculate. Linear Regression. Find it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if you notice, my R is not on here. I have to go back. Remember, my calculator is on a computer. So whenever it reboots, it cleans off the diagnostic the way I said it. So to see everything, second catalog, which is 0, go down to diagnostic and turn the diagnostic on, which means show me everything on the screen that you can show me. And hit enter. Now hit stat, calculate, linear regression. It defaults to L1 and L2. Calculate. There's R 0.99. Now look at your two. 3.5285, 3.5286, 6.5905, 6.5905. R squared is 0.9963. 0.9963, and if you took the square root, you get 0.9981. Now that's the two ways I'm going to ask you to do those problems. I'm not going to ask you to do them by hand. The only way that you would do them by hand is right here. That I just showed you right there. And that's using the slope and the point and slope equation. And just to bring that up in case we didn't write it down or we didn't do it, let's type this in. Let's see, this is round to 3 decimal places. So that'd be 3.529, 3.529, and negative 6.590, negative 6.590. So they do want the line of best fit. I was thinking, because if they gave you create a linear model for the data using 4 and 7 and 14 and 43, then that would be, and they want you to do it by hand with the slope and the point slope equation. Everybody understand the difference between the two? Give me a raise your hands if you understand what I'm talking about. The difference in point slope equation and regression. I only see one hand. Okay, I see a few of y'all. Some of y'all aren't responding. Does anybody have a question about it?
Yeah. When I put it through my calculator, your B was my A and my A was your B. So what do I need to do to fix that? That way I just...
Never seen that before. Hold on.
You
said it turned around?
It's got Y equals A plus BX, not Y equals AX plus B. You see? It's just...
Okay, they just wrote it a different form.
Okay, I just got...
You just have to get used to it. I don't know why it did that. What kind of calculator you got?
The same one that you have.
TI-84?
Yeah.
That's unusual. I've never seen that do that before. Hold on a second. What did George say? Y equals...
Yeah, it's
Y equals AX plus B. And what is yours?
Y equals A plus BX.
Y equals A plus BX. It should be the same.
I mean, it's the same numbers and stuff. I just noticed that we had different.
I've never seen that happen, but I've never seen that happen before. You might want to look it up here and see if you can find an explanation, but actually it's supposed to be y is equal to mx plus b. But I don't know why in some of our math courses they start changing things from when you learned them 3 years ago. I don't know why they do that. As far as I'm concerned, it's y equals mx plus b. So I don't know why the calculator changes it. Read up on this a little bit, and maybe you can find out why. If you find out why, let me know, because I've been asking it for 10 years why they change it. I don't know. It's them damn Russians is what it is. Next, 2.213/9. I feel like I'm doing y'all's homework for you. All right, this is one we just did. I'm going to do it quickly. I'm going to do it in an Excel spreadsheet. Y'all can do it on your calculator. Go ahead and type them in. It's about the same question, but I don't mind going over them because I kind of like y'all, despite what everybody says about y'all. I kind of like y'all, even though you won't talk to me. So go ahead and do this one. Must be the vodka. I was very sleepy this morning. I poured in my jug here. I put in what I'm supposed to put in, and then I walked out of the kitchen and I walked back into the kitchen and I put another set of ingredients. And I said, oh my gosh, I can't drink that. So then I said, well, I'll divide it, and I got another bottle and I divided it in two and filled the rest of it with water. So I didn't want to drink all that vodka that I had in one, so. So anyway, it wasn't a good morning for me either. I doubled my ingredients on my drink. All right, here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and copy it. Excel. And if you hadn't finished copying the numbers, you can see it right here. So if you use an Excel spreadsheet, you copy, you hit. Now I would suggest using it because on the Excel spreadsheet, that'll save you a whole lot of time on the test versus having to type everything in. And I do let you use the Excel spreadsheet on the test. Click on the dot, right click on the X, add trend line, display, move over, highlight, and make bigger. And there is your answer. So make that small. Go over here. Let's see. 3.771. 3.771 plus, oh man, I can't remember what I used. There we go. Negative 12.714. Negative 12.714. And you feel good about yourself. So that's two good questions. That's a good test question also. If they say a linear model and they don't tell you, if they don't say this is a straight line, please find the slope of the straight line. Or they say create the linear model using these 2 points. If they don't say those first two, then you're going to use what I just used on your calculator or with an Excel spreadsheet. Delete. Let's see, what number was that? I'll make sure I'm not doing, okay. 2.3, I'm gonna move on, okay, if that's okay. I think this will be the same one. Let's check. Are we good with this one? Give me a hands up if we're good for these. I don't mind, I don't want to skip, but as long as I get half the class going okay, leave the hands up, please. Okay, let me move down. Okay. Okay, rest of y'all can put your hands down. All right, I'm gonna skip this one. We're gonna move on. Make sure the next one, 2.213. Okay, this is number 17, number 10. Same type question. I'll do it since it's different. I'll do one of them. Open in Excel. Highlight. Insert. There's our scatter plot. Click on one, right click on one, add trend line. Display. And that should be your answer. $1.571. 1.571. 2.229. And you feel good about yourself. That's 2.2, number 17. 2.235/14. The table gives the projections and populations in millions of a country's residents over age 16 for selected years 2015 to 2060. All right, well, I'm going to copy these in Excel. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to see what I know of the material. I want to see what I can derive before I start answering questions. So here is the insert. Looks like it's pretty linear. Click, right click, add trend line. And there is our function. Okay, write that down because that's basically your answer. I don't know what else they're going to ask. The only thing is, if they were to say years since 2010, then you might want to change the bottom to 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, but I don't think they said that. We'll have to see, but there's the function. I'll just do that just for your entertainment. So 2010 would be 0, and of course you don't have 0 here. So yeah, I think probably, 5. Yeah, 5 would be 2015, so that would be 5. And I think we'll leave it like it is. Let's see what the question's asking. Well, let's see what it looks like. Let me pull up the graph again, sorry. And it looks pretty straightforward, left to right up, and it's pretty much in a straight line. This is not it. This is not it. This is maybe. This is not it, so it's got to be C. Got that right. All right, it says round to 3 decimal points. 1.890. 1.890. 1.890. And then the other 3551, that's a whole number. I didn't know that until just now. 3551. Okay. Huh. I have a feeling they wanted 0. Hold on. No, from years. Okay, I got something totally wrong there. They must be doing something different. I don't understand what the problem there is. We'll have to go back to that one because I said it was 3551. Did I look at something wrong? Anybody got any input? I just wonder if this should be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Nope. I have no idea what they're doing. I don't understand how they got to, I got 3551 no matter what I do. So I don't understand where they got that number. If somebody knows where they got that number, let me know.
If
I'm gonna
you
put
go
it,
to question help back on the question and show example, it sometimes shows you how to like do
well,
it.
I'll look at it, but that, oh Lord, did I just delete it? No, there it is right there. So I want to delete this one. Well, I got the slope right, so I don't understand what I did wrong. Well, see, I put it in as 2015 order. I did both. So I still should have got the right. This is just Windows on the calculator. I ain't worried about that. Find the function, and what do they do? Enter the data into a calculator. All right, let's go to the calculator. All right, I want y'all to type it in. I'm going to type mine in and see what the calculator gives us. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Is 50 as high we go? Yeah. Okay, so let's go backwards. Okay, I got to go up here. Where's 15? There it is. I'm sorry, I'm thinking out loud. All right, 15, I'm gonna close this. And I'm going to close this. All right, 2015, that's 5 years, 255.161. 255.161. God, this is so annoying. Don't use the calculator. I'm using the keyboard screen and that don't work. I have to use the calculator. 0.161. Enter. This may take a minute. 266.024. 266.024. 276.558. 286.967. 297.259. 306.634. 315.152. 323.314. 331.770. And 340.868. Everybody with me? So now stat, calculate,
You have a
linear
work
regression,
email.
calculate, and they got 247. So something's not transferring over. Something's not transferring over right when I put it in the Excel spreadsheet, because that got 247 and my Excel spreadsheet didn't. So let's look over at the Excel spreadsheet and the numbers. Check those numbers, please. Are those numbers coinciding with those numbers? 255.161, 266.024, 376.558. Oh, I'm sorry, 276.558, 286.967, 297.259, 306.634, 315.152, 323.314, 331.770, 340.868. I am at a loss of words. Okay, somebody tell me what I did different. Now it says, evidently it didn't change. Let me do this again. It's not letting me click on it. Okay, it was the years. That's what it was. You got to punch in the years as 5, 10, 15, 20. Sorry about that. But you see, you get the same answer. Sorry about that. I suck. And what else did they ask? Is that it? Everybody see? And the linear model is a very good fit. And what does the model predict the population will be in 2042? So let's go to the calculator. 2042. How many years is 2042? That'd be what? 2042 would be from 2010. Would that be 32? Or yeah, right? 32. So go to second table and X, find 32. It looks like it'll be 54.481. Why have I got two Y's? Hold on a second. Stat, edit. Something's going on with this calculator, because I don't know if it's me or what, but how can I have it? I got an L1 and L2. How can I have two?
You have a work email.
Linear regression. No, table. Second table. Oh, I bet I know why. There it is. Clear. Did we type in those numbers? Let's check and make sure. Stat, edit. Yeah, we typed them in, and now it's stat, calculate. I was making sure our second table. There we go. Now 32 would be 54.481. 54.481. And okay, somebody deduct, okay, I am totally wrong. Is 2010 from 42, isn't that 32?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I have no idea what they're asking. Looks like to me 308. Okay, I'm missing something. 2032. And what year does the model predict population will be? And now that you said equal, you do y is equal to 336.827, and it'll give you, but we're gonna stop here. My brain's already fried. We're gonna stop there. I'm not gonna delete that one. We'll finish these Thursday. All right, let me finish up and hit, there's that, and stop recording.